What's up, my Vina loves? It's Miss Vina D, and you're watching Vindicated Unfiltered. So most of you are aware that I rock with Cashay from Love Island USA Season 3. I post about her a lot. She is currently on CBS The Challenge with Shannon, Justine, Single, and other people from Love Island. And of course, Big Brother, The Amazing Race, Survivor, and all of that. But my reviews that I'm going to be doing will be more focused on the Love Island side of things and not the entire episode. So after what happened on the challenge this week, because I said, you know what, don't review the first episode. Let's go 1 or 2 episodes or even 3 episodes in and see how it's going. Then you can start your review when you have the content. So the recent episode, there was a lot going on. So I instantly recorded after the episode and I talked for over 30 minutes because I had a lot to say. I was going to post that review, but then Cashay posted in her Instagram story that she was going to answer some questions. So I decided, even though I already know my commentary and what I had to say will match perfectly with what she had to say, because you just know when you can read someone and understand them, even though you don't know them personally, but just based on certain things you've witnessed, especially when it comes to social media and different shows you've seen them on. Well, I waited for Cashay to tell her side of the story, and she did. So I'm going to be quiet and just play everything Cashay had to say that happened, okay? Now, before we get into that, for those of you who do not watch The Challenge on CBS, Cashay is from a show called Love Island USA. She met a guy named Single on that show. They dated on the show and off the show. They are no longer together. Cashay is on The Challenge, the CBS version. Single is also on The Challenge, okay? When they appeared on The Challenge, their breakup was very new and fresh. Like they had recently broken up. So it was fresh. She was very vulnerable, fragile, emotional, all of that. But she was doing her best to focus on the game and all of that. There was another lady in the house named Tiffany. She's from the last season of Big Brother. And it looks like she and Single allegedly had something going on. Tiffany said on The Challenge, if I have to use my female assets to get ahead in this game, then that's what I'm going to do. If I have to flirt with these men and make them feel like, whatever, that's what I'm going to do to win this game. So Kasha repeated what Tiffany said without even hearing Tiffany said. She said, if you have to use your female asset to do, blank, 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 then hey, go ahead, do your thing, whatever. So basically, Tiffany and Cashay were saying similar things in their confessionals without even knowing the other person was saying it. So even though Tiffany's words were flirting, if I have to flirt, and use what I got as a woman to get ahead or make connections to make sure I'm safe, that's what I'm going to do. And all Cashay said is, if you have to use your female assets to manipulate these guys, because Single is easily manipulated by women, then hey, go ahead and do your thing. So even though Tiffany's exact words were not using her female asset, that's exactly what she meant and what she was insinuating. So it's very interesting for you to go on national television and say out of your own mouth, I know what I'm doing and I'm going to flirt with these men and do certain things and use certain things that I have as a woman to get ahead. Your words were not, I'm going to use my brain. I'm going to do this. I'm not shaming Tiffany. I'm just saying you can't say certain things. And then when people repeat exactly what you said, now, oh my gosh, they are bleep shaming you and all of that. But I want to get to what Cashay had to say. So let me go ahead and wrap this part up so we can get into what Cashay had to say. And then there was a moment where out of nowhere, and this is when I'm like, my goodness, I know you all want to start and have a narrative. Once again, here we are. It happened on Love Island. Here we are. Cashay put her foot down on Love Island and said, I'm not going to do it. We already know her triangle situation on Love Island. I'm not doing it. I'm not about to go back and forth with a black woman about a man We're not doing it. I'm going to be all about sisterhood, and that's what it's going to be. Here we are, CBS. Here they come again, trying to create another triangle situation over the same guy, even though she doesn't want him. It's over. She was just vulnerable. Without any context, they just show Cashay having a conversation saying how Tiffany is intimidated by beautiful women, the other beautiful women in the house. And then they show Single carrying Tiffany into her bed, and Kasha just happened to be walking to bed as Single is walking past her carrying Tiffany. And they try to create this whole narrative that Kasha was and is jealous of Tiffany. Speaking of context and CBS desperate attempt to do this whole love triangle thing again, as you can see on the screen, another contestant from the show who was also, I think, on Big Brother with Tiffany. Yes, his tweet right here, basically saying that Tiffany hurt her foot doing one of the challenges, and Tiffany probably decided to use that as an excuse and to her advantage for Cinco to take her to her bed, because in as much as she didn't win that challenge and was sent home, if you can pedal a bike with that leg, even though you didn't win, you could have walked to your bed. So there was some form of pettiness in there between her and Cinco, but this tweet is also adding context to why he was carrying her. It was her probably saying to him, "Well, my legs still hurt. Can you carry me to bed?" And so he was doing that for her, but she could clearly walk to her bed. So it was all mind games and being petty. And you're about to hear Cashay say that. So I'm going to be quiet now, and let's get into what Cashay have to say. And I'm going to come back with my commentary. But I just wanted to give you all an overview to the reason why we're here, because of some of the backlash on social media that Cashay have this type of power to send someone home because of a man when no, she and her partner lost, and that's why they were sent home. Also, majority of the house and the people in power nominated her to go in, okay? So Cashay wasn't even in power. She had one conversation with someone about Tiffany being intimidated. But majority of the people in the house wanted her gone. Even her own friends backstabbed her. We're going to get into that. So, yeah, stop it. But let's get into what Cashay had to say.
Hi, you guys. I'm obviously getting a lot of messages about the last episode yesterday. I obviously have a lot to say about it, but I'm gonna hold my tongue for a second. Vibe out. We're having a good day. We're gonna go to Universal today. Yes. For the messages of people supporting me, I love you guys. Y'all know what's up. Don't worry, I got a lot to say, and y'all know I be chatting. I'll talk soon. Don't you fucking worry. Ah! Okay, bye. All right, y'all. It's that time. We have an hour car ride from Orlando back to our Airbnb, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about last night's episode. I know a lot of people have questions. I got stories and answers. I got receipts. Ask me what you guys want to ask me. Oh, I've been waiting for this one. Okay, so the very first day I met Tiffany, I went up to her and I said, "I'm so excited to meet you. Our fans said that we should meet each other." I was so excited we met. Everything was fine with us. We joked around with each other. When I first walked into the compound, it said, like, where we all put our stuff, it said, Cashay, Tiffany, Cinco. So I was like, yo, respectfully, if they're about to have another triangle or try to produce another triangle on the show, I'm not having it. I had a conversation with her about it. I said, listen, I don't know what's going on with you and Cinco. I don't know if you guys are together. I literally do not care. I just want to keep my experience separate from his. I want to get to know you, but I don't need to know what's going on between you and Cinco. We can be cool. Then we were friends, and I thought we were friends, and I thought we were cool. There was a situation where I was like crying because I was upset. I was having a hard day. I was crying with Shannon, and Tiffany came over and consoled me. She held me. She like kissed me on the forehead. She said, "Girl, don't let this get to you. I got your back." La da 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 da. So then Alyssa told me that Tiffany was telling people that I was her biggest target, that she wanted to get me sent home. And then she also told another girl, let's fuck with Cashay's mental. So she tried to get another girl in on her plan. Let's wear lingerie around Cinco. Let's do little things with Cinco to piss her off. That girl said, no, I don't want to be a part of it. But Tiffany continued. So she wore lingerie around Cinco. like to try to get me upset. And I was just like, you look beautiful. And I went to sleep. So for me, the below the belt stuff, like pretending to be close to me, there was another situation where I was like with Shannon and I was like crying because I was having a really hard day because living with your ex sucks. And she came over, hugged me, she was consoling me, she kissed me on my forehead, she's like, I got you, girl, like don't let another man ruin your experience, like all of that, to then to hear I'm her biggest target, let's fuck with her mental, doing these little things, like that for me was why I did not care if she stayed. Okay, so this question really confused me because I thought Kasha and I were friends. I painted his nails. I tried to make him feel welcome. We call each other Cash Squared. Again, someone I was excited to meet because it's giving Cash. Hello? So him saying, like, spreading all these lies and saying that, like, Love Island wasn't there. It's just very confusing. And him saying I was super intimidated by Tiff day one is insane because I literally was excited to meet her. I met her off the jump, told her I was excited to meet her. There was no issues there. So yeah, it's, you know, it's a lot of that, me thinking that I'm friends with people and I'm not. It's giving naive, but yeah. And also in this picture, like, we weren't even partnered up. He's like, let's take a picture together. And in this picture is when I painted his nails. Hello? Yeah, it's giving confused, but that's the tea with that. I don't even know what to say about that because it's, I don't know. I'm sorry. Did I miss something? I wasn't in power. Like, there was 26 people in the house. I don't have that much pull. The majority of the house wanted her gone. For my game and the information that I knew, I was okay with it. But this whole, like, I sent her home because I'm jealous thing is insane. I don't have that much power or pull. Also, go back and look at how many people were cheering for James and Kayla. Go back and look how many people were jumping up and down. It wasn't just me. It's giving a narrative that's not true. Like, you know, y'all get what I'm saying? Have you seen the women in the house? It's giving beautiful, sexy fun. That's why I said beautiful women. Now, when it comes to Tiffany's game, which is why I think a lot of people were okay with seeing her go, is that she wasn't really making an effort with the women, besides a few. She was mainly like game talking with the guys. So in the words of Tiffany herself, if they're not talking to you, they're probably talking about you. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I was just like, in that moment, was intimidated the right word? Maybe not, but in that moment, that's what I felt. And what I say, I own up to. So in that moment, I said, she's intimidated by beautiful women because she wasn't talking to most of us. And I just think we're all stunning. So yeah, that's the tea on that. Ew, thank you. Scared, intimidated, I don't know about all that, but I think I'm not going to speak for all the girls, but a lot of us started to notice that she was orchestrating an alliance with the men, which obviously can be a threat to other people's games. So if you're a threat, you got to go. Was I scared? No. Was I intimidated? No. But for my gameplay, and for I think a lot of people, it made sense for her to leave for our game. But it ain't that serious. We're not shaking. Like, come on. Let's all calm down. You know what I'm saying? Yes! I'm so excited to meet Claire! It's giving. Was I mad, or did I just remove myself from a situation that was put blatantly in front of me? I said, that's weird, and I went to bed. And ironically enough, that was right after I was told that she wanted to fuck with my mental. Okay, so this is where my feelings actually get hurt. This part of the story, I guess. Because when it comes to the challenge, I don't really take that stuff personally, and I can move on from it because it's a show, it's a game. Tiffany DM'd me after I got off the show and said, hey, can we talk? I have screenshots of all this as well, receipts, all of it. She says, hey, can we talk? So we talked for over an hour on the phone, and we talked about things from our point of view, and we just cleared up everything that happened on the show. She ended up apologizing. I apologized if I made her feel a type of way that made her feel like she had to act that way. We moved on. And then we started to form the kind of friendship that I wanted us to form on the show. She helped me put through my boob job. We shared stories. We were calling each other sis. We were making jokes that people were going to pit us against each other. We were close. FaceTimed all the time, talked on the phone. We were close. Then I went to LA and everything changed. So I went to LA to visit some people from the challenge. We went to brunch, then we went bowling. Everything was fun. We get a few missed calls from Tiffany. Kylan gets a few calls. Tiffany calls me. I call her back. She goes, oh, you guys are all in LA without me. I'm like, girl, come to LA. Like, I thought it was going to be a fun, chill conversation. Then she basically says, oh, you're with Kylan? I'm going to go call Cinco. Maybe I should call Cinco. It's giving compound. It's giving, why are we back in this place? Because we talked about everything. I thought everything was fine. So yeah, that was the last time I talked to Tiff. now that the episode is out and all of her interviews are coming out, the jealous narrative that she's trying to paint of me is exactly what I got from her in LA, is exactly what I got from her in the compound, and it's exactly what Sarah Beth got from her at Big Brother. Yeah, so I don't want to waste my energy on this anymore. The only reason why I even did this Q&A is because the narrative that Tiffany is fueling, quite frankly, isn't true. Show me where in the episode I had conversations with people in power. Show me where it was my fault that she went home. Because I can show you where I walked away. I can show you where I removed myself. The only thing I'm guilty of is agreeing with the house and wanting her to go home. So yeah, in that case, good night. Cheers. I'm good on this. She's gone. Continue to watch the show. And maybe I'll do another Q&A if I get another bad edit or something. I love y'all.
So on the screen was the first tweet that Cashay posted after the episode, and then after her Instagram, stories and explaining everything that happened, she posted this other tweet as well. Basically, if you want the smoke, I can give it to you, okay? I said my piece, and I'm going to leave it at that. But if you continue to do interviews trying to run with this narrative because you see me as an easy target, sweetheart, I have the receipts, I have the text messages, I have the FaceTime, timestamps, and all of the times you call me, I have everything, and I can expose you for the petty person that you are. One of the things said by Tiffany, and that's going around allegedly, is that she's saying in interviews that she had an issue with Cashay from day one, but Cashay is painting a different picture. The two of you were close, you became friends. And CBS, that right there was the storyline. That right there was what the viewers were supposed to see. And you left all of that on the cutting floor to paint this narrative? Oh, my goodness. I am aware that the show is called The Challenge, so they have to focus more on the challenges and not too much on the behind the scenes or the background situations. I get it. Sometimes they might be limited on time, but the same way how you took time out of the episode to show the other people that Tiffany thought were her friends, saying that she swiped DNA with Single, throwing her under the bus, and then you even took time to edit a scene like a newsroom for one of the chicks that threw Tiffany under the bus, and now she's apologizing on Twitter. You could have done the same thing for Cashay. Put a little montage together a few days earlier or a few weeks earlier. Show them meeting. Show them hugging. Show them talking. Show Tiffany saying, we're going to mess with her head. Because Tiffany did admit this, and I'm going to read those messages very soon. Let's get in her head. This is a game. Show a montage of all of that. And then social media, especially Twitter, wouldn't be dragging Tiffany like this. They are coming for her and repeating, basically reminding her about the same behavior on Big Brother. Okay, with other cast members. And I think Cashay mentioned one of the ladies' name of Tiffany, being jealous. But I'm going to read those tweets at the end. Let's get into what she had to say to Desi. If you pay attention to the similar part of Tiffany's message, you will see that she reposted Desi video. Basically, Desi did a Q&A, and she was answering different questions, and people asked her, about certain things. And she responded that it is just a game. It was just a game to her, nothing serious. People shouldn't take the show too seriously or personally. So this is what Tiffany is referring to. Now, Cashay said some other girl. She never mentioned a name. So there you go. When I say Cashay doesn't lie and she's going to stand on what she said, even if she's wrong, there it is. Tiffany is admitting to this conversation happening, and she is saying that absolutely she had the conversation with Desi. So then why are you going on interviews and trying to play into the narrative of Cash being jealous and that from day one she wasn't getting along with you just for her to come and do all of this? But let's read it. I'll save my commentary for later. I'm sure some of you have been reading anyways. So she wrote, this is Tiffany. I wasn't going to address this or say anything about it, but if it's all game, okay, then why not be honest with Cashay and tell her you lied about me saying, let's wear lingerie. I never said that, and I don't even own lingerie. If y'all took that tank top and shorts to be lingerie, that's on y'all. If you like me and this is game, why wouldn't you reach out to me? Basically, in summary, however, you sat on TV and accused me of swapping DNA with someone is a low blow. Well, it looks like it takes one to know one, because Cashay did say that, Tiffany basically did some low blow things. So I guess Tiffany knows how it feels. So let's continue. Low blow, especially when you know absolutely nothing about me. If it's game, why wouldn't you say to Cashay afterwards that it was your words on the mess with her mental instead of what I actually said, which was we can really get in her head. The sad thing is I did really like you, even as a friend, and that didn't have to be mutual. But instead of tagging me in these stories, you could have reached out to me directly, and maybe I would think this was genuine. Well, there you have it. When I said Cashay doesn't lie and she's vindicated, there you have it, okay? This actually did happen. So what she's saying is, yes, I did say mess with her head, not mental. Tiffany, it's the same thing. I understand you all are on the show for money. I get it. It's the challenge. If you are too emotional, if you are broken, why are you here? Stay home, get healed. Now, maybe, just maybe, Cashay is still, well, she said it on Instagram Live, okay? But maybe she was still on a contract with CBS, and her contract said that she had to do another show. Who knows? Maybe it was a situation where she did not want to turn down the opportunity because of her contract. And also, her best friend Shannon is on the show. So she also felt like, okay, I might have, my little situation with single, but I'm sure I can lean on my friend and focus my energy there and focus my energy on the reason why I'm here, and I'll be fine, okay? Whether single is here or not. But for you to talk about low blow, but here you are having a conversation with someone to mess with someone's head, all for the sake of winning a show and for money, when you as a woman knew that she was vulnerable, she was broken, you held her while she was crying, you kissed her on the forehead, you knew what she was going through, and your whole plan was like, let's break her down even more as women and not uplift her, because that's not why we're here. It's the challenge. Well, then don't use words like low blow, because that is low blow. The thing is, okay to mess with someone's head, even though you already know what they're going through. Also, you're claiming that Desi said it. So Desi told you that she was going to mess with your friend, and I'm using the air quotation because Kasha did say, she used that word loosely, and she's naive when it comes to, thinking people are her friends and they're not. But for that woman to think that you were friends, and then you heard someone saying that they were going to mess with her mental health, and not at any point you thought it was okay to pull her aside and say, look, this is what this person is saying about you, and I'm not here for it. You chose to keep that information and had Cashay not come on Instagram to expose what happened. You wouldn't have admitted to this. But because Cashay called you out, now, no, I didn't say it. Desi said it. Now it's turned into a he said, she said, and all of this mess, when you have been leaning into the public bullying Cashay based on what CBS chose to show. You have been reposting things with Cinco carrying you, retweeting, not reposting. Well, reposting too in her Instagram stories, but retweeting things with Cinco carrying you, and all of these different things to ton Cashay, and then leaning into the jealousy conversations in interviews when that's not what happened. So this is sad. And for you to use the word, like I said, low blow, but then turn around and did that to Cashay. But Tiffany is too grown to be playing the games that the 20-year-olds like Cashay and Single and them normally play, especially how embarrassing to be going back and forth over a 26-year-old. But he's young. You know, when it comes to Single and Cashay, I consider them as babies. Even though they're in their 20s, they're young. Tiffany is too grown to be in the mix and doing all of this over some Single that Cashay doesn't even want. Like, come on. And in the end, Cashay is having the last laugh. She's on her way to Miami with her best friend to have fun. Tiffany is in her Instagram story throwing Desi under the bus. Desi is having an amazing interaction with Single right now. She's answering questions, responding to Single questions. Single is reposting her Instagram stories. Exactly. Now, this last segment, we're going to talk about, jealousy and Tiffany behavior and all of that. So I'm going to have different tweets on the screen as we talk about this because I want to end the video, and me having this conversation and then coming back to read the tweets would put me over 30 minutes, and I'm not trying to do that. So if you have to put the video on pause to read some of the tweets, go ahead and do that. But that's what you will be seeing on the screen in the background as I continue to talk about this. If Cashay hanging out with a group of Big Brother people led Tiffany to text her, well, I'm going to call Single, all because the guy that she dealt with was there, even though Cashay wasn't with him by herself. It was a whole group. I can only imagine how she's feeling right now that Single and Desi are having interaction, why she's throwing Desi under the bus, and then Single is saying on his Twitch allegedly, oh yeah, she was flirting, I didn't lean into it, it's just a game, it's all good. But then Tiffany's allegedly saying that, they made out. And it's just like, it's just crumbling. And it's just so petty, and it's middle school, especially for some of the grown people involved in all of this. But I'm just glad that Cashay cleared her name. She was honest, and she's been vindicated. Now, before Tiffany posted in her Instagram story what Desi did, Desi been posting nothing but love about Tiffany when she was answering her questions. I will do a separate video on that because I'm almost at 30 minutes and I want to end this. Okay, so I don't know since that Instagram story how she feels. She's been posting about it, but it looks like she's making the choice to gracefully bow out and move on. She's not addressing anything. She's picking different questions and very careful questions. She's not involving Tiffany right now because if Tiffany would expose her like that, who knows what else she could say. So she's just leaving it alone and moving on with grace and being positive. Tiffany is also, so far, moving on the same way since Cashay was like, okay, try me. I have receipts. She's been posting nothing but positive quotes and walking in my purpose and all of that. And I'm wishing all of you well and take care. Here, my Fina loves. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also, turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.